If you are watching this video, then you have crossed paths with the highly invasive and noxious Canadian thistle. This video is split into 3 parts. Part 1 will help you better understand your enemy. In The Art of War, Sun Tzu wrote, "Know thyself, know thy enemy. 1,000 battles, 1,000 victories." Considering one Canadian thistle plant can produce over 1,000 seeds, I feel this is an appropriate quote to set the stage. Part 2 will briefly cover why chemicals take longer to eradicate Canadian thistle than manual remediation, and Part 3 will cover the 3 strategies to manually remove Canadian thistle, including step-by-step instructions. To keep this video short, I'm going to refer to Canadian thistle as CT and ask that you please click subscribe to help us reach 1,000 subscribers so we can keep making these videos. So, back to part 1. Know thy enemy. CT is a long-lived perennial, so it will return year after year. Above ground, CT will reach heights of up to 5 feet, with below ground depths averaging 15 inches, but can reach much, much farther. Roots can also extend up to 17 feet horizontally. And lastly, CT grows well in a variety of soil conditions and spreads easily via seed, with one plant producing over 1,500 seeds, which can easily spread by the wind and remain viable for 20 years. For part 2, I want to highlight this video is about chemical-free control. However, if you are determined to use chemicals, take a minute to review the Penn State fact sheet on Canadian thistle, which highlights that a successful chemical control program requires multiple treatments within a season. So, chemicals which are typically used as an easier alternative to physically removing the plant will take longer and includes all the risks associated with using chemicals. Therefore, a better strategy is to manually remove. On to part 3. Now, there are 3 overarching strategies to remove Canadian thistle. The first strategy is to remove the entire root, including the rhizome. This is easier said than done given CT's deep root system. Knowing that you are not going to capture 100% of the roots and the rhizomes leads to the second strategy, death by exhaustion. As Woody Hayes famously said, paralyze resistance with persistence. In the first strategy, you severely injured and weakened the plant. The only means for CT to survive at this point is to recharge its batteries with new above-ground growth where photosynthesis will use the sun's energy to feed and rebuild. So, as soon as you see the plant reappear above ground, repeat the first strategy. Ideally, the second time is the charm and you remove the entire plant. If not, you have further injured and weakened the plant. Over time, this strategy will lead to plant death. The third strategy is to prevent the plant from flowering and seeding. Now, assuming you follow the first and second strategy, this third scenario should not occur. However, I know life happens. While away for a couple weeks, CT moves into your landscape and you don't have time to correctly remediate. Minimally, you will want to cut the flowers to ensure it is not able to produce any seeds. So, we have our strategies. Let's move to tactics. Start by carefully pulling back mulch from the base of the plant. Use a soil knife to cut into the ground, not the root. The goal is to prevent the root from breaking and to free it from the soil. Next, ensure all soil that is attached to the root goes into a bucket. The goal is to prevent the spread of other weeds, which will germinate if they remain on top of the mulch and are exposed to the sun. Next, carefully return the mulch. The last step is to ensure all parts of the CT are disposed in a black plastic trash bag and not your compost pile. Thank you for watching. Again, click like and subscribe